Don't know if you're aware, but you haven't won at Rutgers. The senior
Yeah,
class
it's the
hasn't
only
won at
one, right?
Rutgers.
Yeah.
I mean, how big a deal would it be to add that to the checklist of this of your career in this team?
Yeah, it would be super cool. Obviously, we've been fortunate to win a lot of games, since the last couple of years. But yeah, it's one place we haven't got to win, so it'd be cool to finish it out. Obviously, like I talked about it last time, just how much respect we have for that program because they do things the right way and they play hard, scrap. And Coach Peichel's done an unbelievable job there, so we got a lot of respect for them. They've obviously given us promise in the past, so we want to, go in there and take care of business. But it'll be tough. It's always a great environment, and they always play super hard. So
they have been a thorn in your side. Why have they been such a thorn? And how do you see this year's team compared to what they've had in the past?
Yeah, I mean, one thing, stylistically, I think we're a lot different, but just as far as our everyday principles, like they really do a good job of sticking to what they do and just doing a great job on defense. They really get up in pressure. Their principles are great, and their rotations and post doubles and all that kind of stuff. They just always had some guys that can go offensively, and obviously they got Big Cliff as well. So I'd say a little bit younger than in the past. It felt like the past years they've had older guys that have been there for a while that are really established. But we're just excited for the challenge. We've seen a lot of different stuff this year based on teams that have guarded us, so that shouldn't affect us. We just have to know in their building the pressure's going to be ratcheted up, it's going to be loud. They're not going to let us do what we want. So we got to be able to make second and third reads and plays and go off of that.
Have you guys hit a bit of a good turnover stride where the unforced turnovers are not coming as frequently as they did maybe a few weeks ago?
Yeah. I think that always comes in bunches, good and bad. So it's been nice to find it. Obviously, you want to, like Pete said, it's every game problem. You don't just fix it after a couple games. But it'll be a good test for us. They're obviously a team that turns people over, and as we keep going next week as well, like Northwestern's another team. So it'll be a good challenge for us on the road, especially to see if we can continue to take care of it. But I think we've been doing a great job. Braden, Lance, Fletch, everybody that's been out there that's played has done a good job of being simple and just making the right plays.
How much the addition of Lance has maybe helped that a little bit to have another ball handler out there?
His I think especially like in transition and semi-transition, his speed, just adds another element that the defense really has to worry about. He's so great at knifing in the defense and getting downhill. It's keeping the ball out of the paint is something we focus on. So having a guy that can kind of get there at will, on top of what we already have, it's been great for us.
You've mentioned it a couple times when I've talked to you, but just the look that you get from the scout team this year and what you're getting from them, and are they giving you different looks than maybe in the past, and how much has that really helped you guys get through this season?
Yeah, I mean, obviously part of it is like having the buy-in from Will and Brian. We've never really, at least since I've been here for the most part, had like a couple guys on scholarship like me on the scout team, and that it takes a lot of sacrifice and mental fortitude, obviously. So like kudos to them. So I think when you add that on top of Carson and Chase, who have been here for 4 years now, they have an accumulation of knowledge of just being here and playing against these teams because they pay attention and they're smart guys. Sam King as well, obviously being a second guy. It's the whole group and just their buy-in, and obviously the coaches too do a great job of using them the best way possible. But they're unbelievable behind-the-scenes tool that I don't think anybody in the country has access to like we do. So.
But I mean, what are they? I mean, like when you get in a game, you feel like you've seen it before. You've seen it, even though it's the personnel's different. You've seen it.
The personnel's different, but the pay, like honestly, sometimes this isn't a knock on other teams as much as just a compliment to our guys. Like I think sometimes the pace they go at in practice is just as much in the game or even faster than in the game. Like they, especially if that's a team's calling card, like their pace, like they'll be going at a frantic pace, and they're really able to lock into their actions and they don't pull punches. Like sometimes like scout team will be like, you don't want to score the starters, like, because then they'll be like pissed off at you. Like they want to come in and compete with us every day, which is a unbelievable advantage to have.
Is part of it too, like you guys bring it to us. Bring it on.
It's a two-way street. It's always better when there's a little bit of back and forth. I think 'cause it kind of gets people, especially when you get later in the season, and days are a little bit longer. It's just you get to that point, but it's good to have that fire still and to be able to compete in between games with them. And they always make it fun, and they'll let us know if they're ever busting our butt a little bit. So it's a good challenge for us every day as well.
All right.